An illegal immigrant shoots an off-duty agent, and Mayor Adams finally snaps. A Border Patrol agent was shot in the face by an illegal immigrant in New York City. Mayor Adams is calling them violent predators. The shooter had a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt and was still out walking free. And the Democrats, they're pretending it never happened. You know what I need you to do, people? Like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss what they're trying to bury.
Hurry up.
And last night, an off-duty federal officer for U.S. Custom and Border Protection was in Riverside Park when an unexpected situation became a reality. Shortly before midnight last night, the 42-year-old male federal officer was with a friend when two predators on a moped approached. One male dismounted the scooter, displayed a firearm, and approached the two who were just trying to enjoy the city like so many of us do during a hot evening hour. According to the video, investigators recovered from the scene. It appears that our perpetrator discharged at least 2 shots, striking the officer in his face and forearm. The federal officer returned fire.
He called them predators, and for once, he's right. They're not asylum seekers. They're not immigrants. Predators. We're not talking about a man stealing food for his kids. This was a calculated ambush on a federal officer. This guy came in under Biden's open border policies with a rap sheet a mile long and still got to roam free in New York. You pay taxes so people like him can get free food, free housing, and free health care. Meanwhile, you're working overtime just to survive. Make that make sense.
This is the moment DHS says an off-duty Customs and Border Protection officer is ambushed and shot late Saturday by a man with a deportation order. Authorities believe 2 men who approached on a scooter were attempting to rob the 42-year-old officer who was in a park with a friend. 2 senior law enforcement sources say it appears to be a random encounter. The alleged shooter, identified by police as Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez of the Dominican Republic. Mora Nunez was taken into custody after going to the hospital to be treated for his injuries. Authorities confirming he had previously been arrested for domestic violence, robbery, assault, and was wanted in Massachusetts for kidnapping. President Trump saying on Truth Social that Mora Nunez was apprehended at the border in April 2023, but instead of being deported, was released.
This man wasn't undocumented. He was unwanted. He had a full record and a deportation order. The system knew he was dangerous. DHS flagged him, and under sanctuary city rules, he was still let go. This isn't about compassion. This is about corruption. And it's American people paying the price.
This issue, an incident of this shooting, is a clear example of everything that's broken by our criminal justice system. One, the perpetrator or the person of interest that we have in custody have been known to have repeated interactions with law enforcement, violent interactions with law enforcement. The second, the over-proliferation of guns. Although we've removed over 22,000, bad guys continue to get guns in their possessions, and they're not afraid to use them. And thirdly, something that I talked about often, the violent migrant and asylum seekers who are bringing violence and really tarnish the reputation of those who come to this country to pursue the American dream.
That's not a conservative talking point. That's Eric Adams. The same guy who begged for more immigrants a year ago is now calling them violent and dangerous. You can only deny reality for so long, and eventually it punches you in the face, literally. You see it and you feel it. If you're tired of the excuses, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell, people. We're not here to play safe. We're here to tell the truth. We want to keep our views as informed as possible, so let's take a look at the official border crossing numbers under the Biden administration. This graph depicts the year 2022, 23, and 24, with almost 2.5 million if we look to the far right column. We can't see 2021, but we can definitely assume that that number is pretty close. So in those 4 years, we're talking about 10 million people. That means over a period of 10 years, almost 10 million people were encountered at the border. The Democrats claim that it was all mothers and families and vulnerable people, but when we look at this graphical analysis, you'll see different. The first column is single adults. The second column is family units. The third column is accompanied minors, and the fourth column is unaccompanied minors. You don't have to be a genius to see that the vast majority of these encounters were single adults. And from the hundreds of videos and pictures, we can definitely surmise that these were single, young, military-aged men. So much for women and children. These caravans are packed with young men, most of them unvetted and undocumented. And they're not fleeing, they're infiltrating. They didn't come here to embrace American values. They came here to exploit them.
Well, you guys, there was a story that a Mexican illegal woman was kidnapped by ICE, thrown into a warehouse, being forced to self-deport. And Mayor Bass and all the activists got behind this story because this, of course, was another example of how evil ICE is. And the family, of course, set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know, why, but there's the woman. It turns out she's they found her. She was at a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
She was not deported. She was not thrown into some sort of, warehouse facility. Nobody forced her to self-deport, although now she's in a lot of big trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Rachel, Democrats created this narrative that ICE is the Gestapo, that ICE is evil, and that they're kidnapping and disappearing people, and they wanted an example. So that's why Mayor Bass on July 1st leaned in, put her picture up, and tweeted this. She's a mother from LA, taken out of her car on her way to work and then held in a warehouse as officers hoped she would self-deport. No hearing, just fear. This doesn't make anyone safer. But here's the problem. She faked her kidnapping, and DHS called him out yesterday, tweeting this. Mayor, you pushed a hoax. There is still time to delete this. This woman was never arrested or kidnapped by ICE or bounty hunters. This criminal illegal alien scammed innocent Americans for money and diverted limited DHS resources from Los Angeles. I think that's called caught red-handed.
Mayor Bass amplified a hoax. ICE didn't kidnap anyone. The illegal immigrant faked a sob story to go viral and rake in GoFundMe cash. And instead of doing their homework, Democrats amplified it like the gospel. This is the same ICE that's trying to protect Americans from violent criminals like Mora Nunes. And they're being smeared, defunded, and abandoned. The bottom line is sanctuary equals suicide. Democrats created this mess. They invited it, and now they're shocked when it bites. They opened the borders. They called ICE the enemy. They pushed sanctuary city laws that harbor violent criminals. And now, innocent people are getting shot in public parks, and mayors are calling the very immigrants they defended predators. This isn't policy failure. This is planned destruction. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should sanctuary cities lose funding immediately? Do you support deportation for violent non-citizens? Is birthright citizenship being abused by illegal immigrants? Why did the media push the Karen Bass ICE kidnapping hoax without facts? And what would a zero-tolerance border policy actually look like in 2025? Thanks for rocking with us, people. You know what I need you to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this with somebody who still thinks we should have an open border. Thanks again. God bless.
Listen.